Okay. In my Common 76 class, which is argumentation, we had a small non-formal class debate on polygamy. I wasn't aware that polygamy was a correct term to describe a man with many wives, and polyandry is the word to describe a woman with multiple husbands. Polygamy is a very controversial topic, but today I will be discussing why it should be legalized. According to hg.org, there are several laws that criminalize the act of being married to more than one person. The dictionary definition of polygamy, the dictionary definition of polygamy from dictionary.reference.com defines it as the practice or condition of having more than one spouse, especially wife, at one time. I didn't know much about this topic, and I wasn't aware of the fact that people had strong feelings towards it, and oh yeah, I didn't know much about it. I've heard about the shows like Big Love and Sister Wives, but that's pretty much all I knew. And it wasn't until I actually started researching that I realized that polygamy should be legalized. As not only as Americans, but as human beings with rights, we should be able to marry whoever we want and how many people we want. That can be possible if polygamy is legalized. That can be possible if polygamy and polyandry is legalized. First, I will start off by discussing what really is polygamy. Second, I will discuss some benefits to a polygamous relationship. And lastly, I will discuss a little bit of our human rights. First, let's talk about what it means to people. Well, what is polygamy really? Well, as I said, the definition, definition of polygamy is very simple. There's not much to it. Polygamous people are not in a crazy cult or in a crazy religion. They don't hurt people. No one dies. It's not a big thing. It's just people. It's a group of people who think a different way, and that way to them is right. And an argument against that is if they were normal people, they wouldn't want to have more than one spouse or more than one partner. But there's people who are not in polygamous relationships that cheat on each other, that cheat with many different people, and they're still considered humans. Why aren't polygamous people still considered humans? I came across an ABC special on YouTube where Dr. Patricia Dixon from Georgia State University studies polygamy for several years by living with different polygamous couples. She says very clearly that polygamous relationship isn't about a man exploiting women, and this special also explains how a polygamous relationship isn't just about sex. A surprising fact is that women usually are the ones who promote the idea of polygamy because there is a shortage of men. And with that in mind, I researched more, and there is a shortage in men actually. According to BusinessInsider.com, over the entire United States, there are about 97 men per 100 women, which doesn't seem like a big gap, but according to Dr. Dixon, this makes a big difference, especially in the African American community. With polygamous relationships, cheating doesn't happen as often because there's several partners already in a relationship. Okay, now let's talk more about a polygamous relationship and children. Not only can adults benefit from being in a polygamous relationship, but children can too. I know this is very bold of me to say, but just think about it. According to divorcestatistics.org, about 45 to 50% of Americans get a divorce in their first marriage. Imagine all these families getting a divorce and the stress that comes with it, and the children who have to deal with the parents' divorce have to see parent like every other weekend. They have to share custody, and it's this whole big thing. And I'm sure children feel uncomfortable when they see their parents dating other people. So to avoid all this stress and awkwardness, Some people will rather be polygamous, which saves children and the parents from the hassle of divorce. Not only does divorce affect the children in America, but also growing up with a missing parent makes a big impact in children's lives. LifeSiteNews.com from 2013 reports that 1/3 of American children, which is about 15 million, grow up without having a father, and 5 million more grow up without having a mother. Now, if polygamy was legal and more couples were polygamous, we wouldn't have so many children growing up without a parent. Because even if one of the couples in a polygamous relationship breaks up, the children already have like 5 other moms or 5 other dads to take care of them. They'll never be lonely. There'll always be someone there to take care of them, and they're usually very united. So a full house is a happy house. Finally, I will talk about how it is a right to be polygamous. In America, we are supposed to have freedom of speech, human rights, etc., etc. And if we have all this living in this country, people should be able to be polygamous. If people are happy having 10 different spouses, then so be it. It's their choice. According to Atlantic.com, Freddie DeBoer stated, "If a polygamous family lived next door to me, I'd welcome them to the neighborhood and champion treating them with love and respect." I believe that's how everyone should feel towards polygamous people, because they're still human beings just like us, and because they believe in something different does not mean they don't have feelings just like us, just like everyone else. Debate.org states that the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America requires that freedom of lifestyle choice not be infringed upon the federal government. So what is the polygamy? Oh yeah, it's a lifestyle choice. So that means that according to the First Amendment, they have the right to be polygamous. They have the right to live the way they want to live. And polygamous people are choosing to live their life differently, and we should all just accept it. That brings me to the end of my speech. And basically what I'm trying to say is polygamy should be legalized. Polygamy should be legalized because we all have rights. I mean, that's the whole point of living in this lovely country. My reasons supporting the legalization of polygamy were: 1, polygamy isn't this crazy cult, they're not a crazy religion, they're not killing anyone, they're not doing any crimes. It's a pretty basic thing. It's pretty simple. 2nd, children and adults can benefit from being polygamous. And 3rd, it's just our right to be able to be polygamous if we want. I know polygamy is a very controversial topic, and I'm not giving this speech to persuade you all to go out there and be polygamous. That's far from what I'm trying to say. I just want you all to recognize that polygamy is not a crime. Polygamy isn't just going to disappear. And we as Americans, as humans, need to understand that we all have different beliefs. And we need to give people the right to love who they want and as many people as they would like.